Okay. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam to all. Thank you for joining Bhagavatam discussion. We'll start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं चैतन्यमीश्वरम् ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण ओम तत्सत. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 16, how Parishit addressed Kali. It's a wonderful discussion, how Parishit is really received Kali. So we can read today verse number 2. Anybody allocated?
Yes, Prabhu. Varsha Mataji allocated. I think she is not there. I'll read Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sa uttarasya tanayam upayema iravatim janame jyadim sa chaturas tasyam utpadaya sutan. Translation: King Parikshit married the daughter of King Uttara and begot four sons headed by Maharaja Janmejaya. Purport: Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaja Uttara was the son of Virata and maternal uncle of Maharaja Parikshit. Iravati, being the daughter of Maharaja Uttara, was a cousin sister of Maharaja Parikshit. But cousin brothers and sisters were allowed to get married if they did not belong to the same Gotra or family. In the Vedic system of marriage, the importance of the Gotra or family was stressed. Arjuna also married Subhadra, although she was his maternal cousin sister. Janmejaya, one of the Rajashri kings and the famous son of Maharaja Parikshit. His mother's name was Iravati, or according to some, Madravati. Maharaja Janmejaya begot two sons of the names Jnanantika and Shankukarna. He celebrated several sacrifices in the Kurukshetra pilgrimage site, and he had three younger brothers named Shrutasena, Ugrasena, and Bhimasena. 2. He invaded Takshala, Ajanta, and he decided to avenge the unlawful curse upon his great father, Maharaja Parikshit. He performed a great sacrifice called Sarpa Yajna to kill the race of serpents, including the Takshaka which had bitten his father to death. On request from many influential demigods and sages, he had to change his decision to kill the race of snakes. But despite stopping the sacrifice, he satisfied everyone concerned in the sacrifice by rewarding just sec. He sacrificed by rewarding them properly. In the ceremony, Mahamuni Vyasadeva also was present and he personally narrated the story of the battle of Kurukshetra before the king. Later on, by the order of Vyasadeva, his disciple Vaishapayana narrated before the king the subject matter of Mahabharata. He was much affected by his great father's untimely death and was very anxious to see him again, and he expressed his desire before the great sage Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva also fulfilled his desire. His father was present before him, and he worshipped both his father and Vyasadeva with great respect and pomp. Being fully satisfied, he almost munificently gave charities to the Brahmanas present at the sacrifice. So here, what is being told that Janmejaya was the son of Maharaja Parikshit, and his mother was Iravati, and Iravati was the
That was
daughter of
Uttara, right? Sorry, oh,
uh,
sorry. Yeah, right, correct. Yeah.
Iravati. She was a daughter of Maharaja Uttara, and she was like a cousin sister, probably. They were cousins. But in the previous time also, it was like the Gotra and all was seen, and if the Gotra, different Gotra was there. What is this Gotra, Prabhu? I didn't understand actually. Hmm?
Gotra is descendant of one particular, what is that, Rishi, believe. I don't know, to
Hmm.
be honest, exactly.
Okay, okay,
That
Prabhu.
is Gotra we call.
Okay, Prabhuji. So here she belonged to the different Gotra, and that's why they were married. And Maharaja Janmeja got two sons, Jnanantika and Shankukarna. And basically, because his father was cursed by this son of a rishi and to be bitten by a snake, he was bitten by Parikshit. So because of this he was bitten by the snake Takshaka. Because of the untimely death of his father, Janmejaya performed this Sarpa Yajna to kill all the snakes in the world, and many innocent snakes got killed. And basically, before he could bring Takshak to that fire, this Sarpa Yajna was stopped by another sage who came there and asked him to stop. Then later on, this Janmeja wanted to see his father, and he saw that both his father and Vyasadeva he could see, and he was satisfied, and because of this, he gave charities to the Brahmanas and all present in the sacrifice. And also, I'm not very sure. I heard a story that Janmejaya had a lot of these skin diseases because of this cursed by the snakes and their wives, because a lot of snakes died in the sacrifice. Then probably he went to this on his marriage day only. He started getting a lot of skin diseases. He went to Guruvayur, I think, and there after praying, his skin diseases and all were relieved. I'm not very sure of this story. I had just read somewhere, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Yeah, maybe I'm not read specifically on that particular the skin disease. Maybe we can check on that. Yeah, the point. Okay, Mataji explained nicely. So the point is that the revenge. So again, when we read Bhagavatam, we should take a lesson for me. What is the lesson for me here in this particular discussion? Janamejaya was a great king, no doubt, but because his father was bitten by Takshaka, he took revenge. So, as a practicing devotees, we should avoid this. This mean we can see the other devatas comes and advises Janamejaya, don't do this. It's not good. So of course he stops. So there are two qualities. One, the taking revenge is not good, and even if by mistake took it, by when the seniors say that, we should listen and stop it. So here Janamejaya took the decision, take a revenge of against the snakes, but when the other devatas comes and request, he stops. So he doesn't, persist on that, doesn't insist on that. So that is a good quality of a devotee. So, and of course, Mataji said he could see his father face to face because of Vyasadeva's mercy. So again, the lesson for me is that when we have a mercy of the senior, mercy of the pure Vaishnavas, or mercy of the Saktavesh avatar of the Lord Vyasadeva, we could achieve many things. Like Sanjay could see in sitting in Hastinapur, he could see Kurukshetra because of mercy of Vyasadeva. So we always should get mercy of the seniors. We should get a blessing of the seniors, because blessing of the seniors can do wonders in our life. Okay, we'll move on to the 3. Verse 3, who is going to read?
It is actually allocated to me, and okay, I will read Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 3. Ajahara Swamedam String Gangayam Buri Dakshinat Sarvadvatvam Gurum Kritvam Devayatra Shigochara. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Maharaja Parikshit, after having selected Kripacharya for guidance as a spiritual master, performed three horse sacrifices on the banks of the Ganges. These were executed with sufficient rewards for the attendants. And at these sacrifices, even the common man could see demigods. Purport. It appears from this verse that interplanetary travel by the denizens of higher planets is easy. In many statements in Bhagavatam, we have observed that the demigods from heaven used to visit this earth to attend sacrifices performed by influential kings and emperors. Herein also we find that during the time of the horse sacrifice ceremony of Maharaja Parikshit, the demigods from other planets were visible even to the common man due to the sacrificial ceremony. The demigods are not generally visible to common men as the Lord is not visible. But as the Lord, by his causeless mercy, descends to be visible to the common man, similarly the demigods also become visible to the common man by their own grace. Although celestial beings are not visible to the naked eyes of the inhabitants of this earth, it was due to the influence of Maharaja Parikshit that the demigods also agreed to be visible. The kings used to spend lavishly during such sacrifices as a cloud distributes rain. A cloud is nothing but another form of water, or in other words, the waters of the earth transform into clouds. Similarly, the charity made by the kings in such sacrifices are but another form of the taxes collected from the citizens. But as the rains fall down very lavishly and appear to be more than necessary, the charity made by such kings also seem to be more than what the citizen needs. Satisfied citizens will never organize agitations against the king, and thus there was no need in changing the monarchical state. Even for a king like Maharaja Parikshit, there was need of a spiritual master for guidance. Without such guidance, one cannot make progress in spiritual life. The spiritual master must be bona fide, and one who wants to have self realization must approach and take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master to achieve real success. So here, what they are being told is that Maharaja Parikshit invited the demigods, and they were all visible to the common man during the sacrificial ceremony, because usually demigods are not visible to the naked eyes of the common man. But because Maharaja Parikshit had requested them to be visible, celestial demigods are like Indra, Vayu, this Varuna, and all, they all are considered demigods, even Ganapati, Shiva, Parvati, and all. And what happens is the kings used to spend lavishly during such sacrifices. They used to give in charity a lot of gold, food, clothes, and all. Like it was like this clouds shower rains, na? And always rains are considered as auspicious. They are considered as blessings of God. Yeah, unless and until it does not flood, rains bring a lot of freshness. And also it is told that whenever a slight shower happens, it is like a blessing from the God only. And we see in Krishna's story also, the Govardhan Leela, they used to pray to Indra and all for the rains and everything. Not Indra, he told to pray to Govardhan Parvat for everything. Indra was arrogant at that time. So rains are considered as a mercy, but when they come with a lot of like flooding, then it is a problem. So here the kings also used to distribute like rains very charitably, all these things, and people were very happy because they distribute whatever the taxes collected from the people only. But nowadays we see that even the taxes collected by the people nowadays, the politicians which we only elect, that time it was not a election system, but the monarchical system, the kings were very nice. They used to rule justly and all the stuff like Yudhishthira and all those stuff. all those kings, they never used to hoard things for themselves, their family, their kids, their grandchildren, and all. So here, what we see is, even after we electing the rulers, they are just keeping hoarding, and all those so many problems are there. So that it was the Kali's influence was not there, and everyone was very nice. So they used to rule justly and also distribute very lavishly to all the people, gifts and this thing. That's what I understood, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. It's nice. Yeah, Prabhupada says that interplanetary travel was there in those planes, the Devatas. Today, we can see there's so many, people are trying to go to different moon or other, which is so difficult, spending so much money and energy. but yogic practice, but due to that, the devotees used to go, like Narada. He could travel anywhere, and devatas, they could they travel from their planets and come down to earth. So interplanetary travel was there, but not with our material things. The spiritual power it could allow. Yeah, I think other points Mataji covered. Okay, we move on to the next 4. What's 4? Who is going to read?
Uma Shankar Prabhuji, and if he is not there, somebody else would like to read?
Yeah, please, anybody, please go ahead.
I will read, Mataji. I will read, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Chapter 1, Canto 1, Chapter 16, Text 4. Nija grahau jasavira kalim digvijaye kvachit nripalingadaram sudram gnantam gomitunam pada. Translation, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Once when Maharaja Parikshit was on his way to conquer the world, he saw the master of Kali Yuga, who was lower than a Sudra, disguised as a king and hurting the legs of a cow and bull. The king at once caught hold of him to deal sufficient punishment. Purport. The purpose of a king's going out to conquer the world is not for self-aggrandizement. Maharaja Parikshit went out to conquer the world after his ascendance to the throne, but this was not for the purpose of aggression on other states. He was the emperor of the world, and all small states were already under his regime. His purpose in going out was to see how things were going on in terms of the godly state. The king, being the representative of the Lord, has to execute the will of the Lord duly. There is no question of self-aggrandizement. Thus, as soon as Maharaja Parikshit saw that a lower class man in the dress of a king was hurting the legs of a cow and a bull, at once he arrested and punished him. The king cannot tolerate insults to the most important animal, the cow, nor can he tolerate disrespect for the most important man, the Brahmana. Human civilization means to advance the cause of Brahmanical culture, and to maintain it, cow protection is essential. There is a miracle in milk, for it contains all the necessary vitamins to sustain human physiological conditions for higher achievements. Brahmanical culture can advance only when man is educated to develop the quality of goodness, and for this there is a prime necessity of food prepared with milk, fruits, and grains. Maharaja Parikshit was astonished to see that a black Sudra, dressed like a ruler, was mistreating a cow, the most important animal in human society. The age of Kali means mismanagement and quarrel. And the root cause of all mismanagement and quarrel is that worthless men with the modes of lower class men, who have no higher ambition in life, come to the helm of the state management. Such men at the post of a king are sure to first herd the cow and the Brahmanical culture, thereby pushing all society towards hell. Maharaja Parikshit, trained as he was got the scent of this root cause of all quarrel in the world. Thus, he wanted to stop it in the very beginning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hmm.
Hare Prabhupada ki jai.
Hmm.
So further is said that so Maharaj Parikshit going out conquer the world. Of course, Prabhupada says he's not going to conquer the world. He's going and seeing how things are happening in the kingdom. So this is the duty of every king, every leader, every who is managing something, to make sure that whatever under him are taken care properly. So king, father, guru, these are all the responsible positions. They should make sure that their praja or their disciples are taken care properly. So Prabhupada, many places insisted on devotee care. Devotee care means whoever comes to under any program for ISKCON program or any program that we're conducting, we should be cared of so nicely. So because here Parishit Maharaj is setting an example, all his praja should be taken care. So he is personally going and seeing what's happening. In the process, he could see how a Shudra or low class man dressed like a king, and he is ill-treating or hurting cow and bull. So this is the common practice today. Prabhupada says that here, the today's leaders, they have no qualification, they have no the idea of their management, and they've been made the rulers, and they try to do all kind of nonsense. They say the slaughterhouse increases, all this liquor shops, all this prostitution, all this increases, because this is how they want to increase society, and that's where they get revenue. The maximum revenue today government gets from the excise, like the abkari, the liquors, and second is from different in the slaughterhouses selling the meat. So this is the in the kind of illegal or unethical or sinful activities, and from there they get money. And with that money, whatever the service we do to society also, we'll also incur sin only. Suppose if we get any benefit out of that, we'll also incur sin. So anyway, we are not able to succeed in that. So because leaders are bad, whole society becomes bad. So Prabhupada is saying that the king, being representative of the Lord, has to execute the will of the Lord. What is the will of the Lord? Will of the Lord is to take back all jiva back home, back to Godhead. So king has to ensure, or king has to make arrangement for that. So similarly, king or the leader has to ensure that all his prajas, all his followers are been taken back home Godhead. So for that, all the arrangement has to be made, whether proper preaching arrangement, proper shastric studies, proper sankirtana, all this to be arranged. Otherwise, Prabhupada says that the people of low quality will manage everything for against Vedic system, because Vedic system talks about the two things: protecting cows and Brahmana. Because cow is not animal, cow is mother. Out of 6 mothers, one of the mother is cow. After our own mother, the next comes mother cow, who gives us milk. So protecting the cows, and Brahmana is like a head of the family, head of the society, who gives the right direction. When these two things are not taken care, Krishna will not be, O Brahmanitaya, Go Brahmanitaya cha, Jagaditaya Govindhaya Namo Nama. So Krishna wants cows to be protected. Krishna wants Brahmana. Brahmana again is not talking about Brahmana by birth, Brahmana by practice. One who practices Brahman equality, he should be protected. Of course, I'm not saying that Brahmana by birth should be, insulted. No, everybody should be protected. Everybody should be respected, but Brahmanical practice has to be protected. This you can see when the Britisher came also, the first thing they did that, break our Brahmanical qualities. They kind of influenced the so-called high-called Brahmanas and turned against them to the society. And they started killing the cows. They stopped the sacrifices. This is how they broke. Even today, if you see our society, so-called politicians, they're trying to do. Recently, we could hear one of the students going to enter the seat exam. The Brahmanical third. I mean, what kind of nonsense is this? how that it becomes objection for the boy writing the exam. So this shows their enviness to the, and who does, it's not any outsider, it's only the so-called Hindus only. So this is how our society is broken. This is how our society, people have been poisoned the brain. So if they poison against each other and to break each other, and so that we are divided, so that others can rule nicely. Whereas the purpose of Sanatana Dharma is to Sarve Janma Sukhina Bhavantu. Everybody has to work together, especially all Sanatanis. We should always think we are not separate, we are together. Anything happens to anyone, everybody should join together. Then situation will change. Otherwise, those so-called enemies of Sanatana Dharma, they will divide among us and make sure that they take an advantage of it. This is the actual symptom of Kali. Prabhupada says the age of Kali means mismanagement and quarrel. That is the real symptoms. But if you want to survive, that's the only way. So, like Bhagavatam says, Parishad Maharaj, sorry, Sukdev Goswami tells to Parishad Maharaj, Kale dosha nide rajan asti eko mahaguna. Is Sukdev Goswami telling to Parishad Maharaj, this Kali Yuga has got lot of dosha, Kale dosha. It's full of dosha, it's full of problems. But asti eko mahagunaha. So there is a one good quality, that is kirtanas of Krishna. So mukta sangas kirtana. So chanting the holy name, that is the best thing available. And this is the golden age. We can all chant nicely and go back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, this age of Kali going to be worse and worse, and never going to be improved. Prabhupada says the higher ambition in life, those leaders, low class men, have no higher ambition. Their ambition is to make money more and more, kind of hoard it for next 100 generations, also cannot finish it. And they die like dogs. There is no higher qualities. Prabhupada says higher thinking and, simple living. So look for simple living without much trouble. Keep simple and higher thinking. Always chant Krishna's name. Always read Bhagavatam and make sure that in this life itself, go back home, back to Godhead. That's why Prabhupada finally says that thereby pushing all society towards the hell, Parishad Maharaj, trained as he was, got scent of this root cause of quarrel in the world. Thus, he wanted to stop the very beginning. So he wanted to stop all this nonsense from the beginning, so that the society becomes wonderful. That's why Prabhupada also, he tells the 4 elementary principles: no meat eating, no killing of animals, no slaughterhouse, and no illicit sex, no sex outside marriage, no intoxication, no liquor shop, no the MRPs, and finally no gamblings, no lotteries, no gamblings. These 4 things, these are the pillars of dharma. Pillars of dharma. Dharma is like the meat eating means no mercy, no daya. So daya is one of the pillar. No illicit sex means no cleanliness. Saucha is not there. And gambling means no truthfulness. Satya is not there. And what is that? Gambling, intoxication means no austerity, no tapa. So these are the 4 pillars of dharma. We need to follow that pillars, then make our life successful. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. Devotees can share their comments. Yeah, maybe Asha Mataji want to say.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, today's takeaway. Taking revenge is not, even if we feel, and if some senior says that we should stop, it is better to stop. We should never involve in a business where animals are slaughtered and liquor business is concerned. Instead, I should involve myself in protecting cows whichever way and however I can. That's my takeaway for today, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Yeah, next, Archana Mataji, anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
No,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Lakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
We should have higher thinking. It can be through reading Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and prescribed books by our Acharya. And then this thing, higher ambition in life. Our ambition should be reaching the God. That's all, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank you. Maria Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
From the today's text, I understand not to indulge in revenge on anybody. As a practicing devotee, I must show utmost respect to all senior devotees. And interplanetary travel is found to be very common among the residents of higher planets. And devotee care and citizen care are important for rulers. Whereas due to Kali Yuga, all these things are being neglected, and king or ruler is to ensure protection of cows, brahmanas, that is brahmanical qualities are to be protected, whereas foreign invaders like British rulers broke the Sanatana Dharma, and they practiced divide and rule administration. As practicing devotee, I must support the proper management and real integration. Golden age of Kali Yuga for Mahamantra chanting and go back home to Godhead, and maintain 4 regulatory principle. All these things are understood, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ramesh. Mataji.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Prabhuji, one thing, Prabhuji, I wanted. My grandmother's elder sister, they were no more now, my grandmother and her elder sister. She told one time that in the 1920s or before that, at that time, in Tirupati, the pilgrims stopped. The reason is the Archakas will say Lakshmi Mata bandidare, so no darshan. The darshan 4 days, 5 days they will wait to see the God. She told Prabhuji. So we were wondering what is this now when we read this. So all the demigods are visiting. So I just want to tell this Prabhuji. So Lakshmi Mataji bandidare ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, or sometimes Brahmaji bandidare. ಈ ತರ pilgrims were stopped. They were not having that darshan in the 1920s.
Yeah. There are examples like even Srila Prabhupada times. I mean, many times Prabhupada said that. Once I think so happened in America, I believe. So one of the big program his disciples arranged. So Prabhupada came, but unfortunately not much people were there. But Prabhupada gave very nice lecture. So after the lectures, the disciples are feeling bad that such a big arrangement is made, but thousands of people seating arrangement made, but only few hundreds were there. So they went and apologized Prabhupada, saying that, Prabhupada, we are sorry, we tried our best, but people did not turn up. So sorry for that. Prabhupada said, no. Did you see Narada sitting there? Did you see Brahma sitting there? Did you see Vyasa sitting there? They were all sitting and listening, because wherever Krishna Katha is happening, they all come. They listen, they come. So definitely, wherever Krishna Katha is there, all the devatas will come. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Ramesh Prabhu, Mata Boda. Shruti Mataji, anything else?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, nothing else. That's what we should not take revenge, even if anyone does bad, because we are as devotees, we should be tolerant and forgiving. And secondly, during those times, interplanetary travels, demigods are visible also. That's what, like how Lakshmi Mataji just now told, and you also told, Prabhuji. And third thing, protection of the cows and protection of the Brahmanas, means people who actually follow the Brahminical rules and all. And the society, if it has to be united, we all Hindus have to be united, and we have to pray to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, all these Kali's effects of liquor, meat shops, slaughterhouses and all will increase, and it will only create problems to the society and all those things. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. So thank you all. We'll stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhesya कृपा सिंधु वेवच पतिताना पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। We'll stop here. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Pranam.
Those who are
Krishna,
not attending,
Prabhuji.
if you, all of you
Hare
can
Krishna.
remind them, is good. Those who are not regularly coming,
Yes,
just
Prabhuji.
one small help. Let's remind everybody to attend.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Maybe one or two messages
Hare Krishna.
personally.